they actually take some time to be processed in by on the side of Google. So if you want to access them earlier, you can just simply go to your calendar uh, right over here.
Okay.
This is your calendar, and just you know click on the live session link. So notice this is the last day. This is yesterday's live session. If you just click on this, and you will be able to see the live session recording. Okay. So rather than waiting for the recording to be posted on YouTube, you could just simply go ahead with this and just
Hmm.
access the recording.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
So let's get started, guys. Okay. So this is our data set, and let's have a look at it. Just one second. By the way, guys, did someone manage to get the data from
Okay.
this
This
file?
I managed to get the data, but I wasn't able to collect the answers because first I tried with Tabula, it was a mess. So the
Mm-hmm.
last thing I did was I just used Excel. I opened an Excel file.
Okay.
I
Okay.
imported using that. Everything got imported, but then the first row thing was messy. So if I knew what was going to happen, I would just import in Excel, then export to CSV, then use in a Python notebook.
Okay.
I extracted using the TDS plumber. I can able to extract the data.
Yeah.
After
So
that,
that's actually that's a good approach to start using PDF Plumber, because the thing with Tableau is that it's not much compatible with spaces. Okay, so if you just go ahead and look into this data set, you will see that there are breaks here. Okay, so there are breaks in this entire table. So Tableau is sometimes not able to uh, it's not able to recognize these gaps and make certain arrangements to account for these gaps as well. But PDF Plumber is something which will actually it will just leave these gaps, uh, and it will just, let's say if we are at this row, it will just parse through this one, and if it's able to see that, okay, so there is a gap over here, it will just run through this row and leave it and go to the next row. So that's the thing that PDF Plumber does. And uh, over here, the solutions that we are going to show you guys, we will be showing you how you can do it using PDF Plumber rather than Tabula, because even I tried it using tried to do it using Tabula, and of course it failed miserably, because that's what Tabula's nature is. Okay, it's not much compatible with these kinds of stuff.
Yes,
Okay.
it was a mess completely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be. It's not exactly a mess, I would say. For me, it parsed through the first two pages of the PDF, but
Mm-hmm.
the third page was an entire mess, because then it was kind of considering this Bolaram name as a column name. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that was what was creating the problem. Even if you try to do it using Tabula, then it will be able to for the first two pages, but not for the third page. So that's where the problem arises. That's where PDF Plumber comes to us, to our save to save us. Okay. Any other attempts at extracting the data set using some other library or some other tool, or any other a kind of just go to a website and try to convert it to an Excel, because these kind of tools are actually available on the web. You simply put your PDF file and they will just return the Excel back to you. So was there anyone who tried that?
I tried it out.
Okay, so how was the experience?
Yeah, PDF to Excel directly. I tried in website,
Okay,
but I'm not sure whether it's connected correctly or not. But
so you did it using the website, right?
yeah, website.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. So, were you able to get all the data on this first page and second page, also third page? Were you able to do that using that website?
I did not check it because it was like able to extract like
Uh-huh.
multiple things, but due to the tension, I did not cross check it.
Okay. All right.
but I hope it
S-
extracts fine.
Okay, okay. So let's look at this first question and get started. So this is our data set. Uh, this is our is this the one? This is the one. Yeah, okay. This is a PDF file, and we have to first of all extract each and everything out of it. Okay. So let's just go ahead and extract it using Python, and then perhaps we will look at what all stuff they are asking us. Okay. So I will be importing import. Okay. Firstly, I have to select a kernel. That's a virtual environment. Import PDF Lumber. Okay. And now I guess the code was something like this. Open PDF plumber. Okay, okay. Not like this. It was like uh, edf plumber dot open and then the file's name. Okay. I have downloaded the file. I guess it was okay. I have downloaded once again. Okay. So it's right here. I will download it.
And I feel stupid. This Adobe tool converted it in 2 minutes.
Adobe tool.
Huh. दो
What's the name
minutes.
of that tool?
Just search this Adobe L PDF to Excel.
PDF to Excel. Okay.
I'll share you the link. Two
Yeah, yeah,
minutes,
for sure.
everything.
And it's able to uh,
Everything is
consider
there.
these gaps as well.
हाँ पूरा पूरा टेबल दिख रहा है.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
I should have just used this, then we could spend the next 40 minutes to actually solve the question.
Yeah, let's put this file into Excel and let's look at the results. Okay, uh, let's save it on desktop. Here it is. Okay, so it has converted the first page, also the second page. So there are 67 entries. Okay, and I suppose that there should be some blank entries as well.
I think it
This
is
is
removed
good.
the. Yeah, exactly. Everything.
It has given us each and everything. Even it has given us the columns as well. Yeah. So guys, you know, this is what happens. So the first thought when it comes when you have been given a PDF file that comes to mind is that okay, I have to use Tabula in this. Okay, so the first thought is using Tabula or PDF Plumber to do this, but the thought that doesn't cross our mind is that we can just simply give it to a tool on the web and it will be able to do that. So when you are in the ROA, you should also consider this fact that there are multiple tools. There are, extraordinarily accurate tools present on the web which can actually parse your entire data. How no matter how bad the entire data formatting is. Okay, so whenever you're doing that ROE, always keep in mind that you should first check some tool. Okay, and I would recommend you guys that before heading into the ROE, just keep a kind of arsenal of all these codes. So just like I have kept over here, just like I have kept over here, this is my entire arsenal for these codes. But you should keep an arsenal of these websites as well. Okay, so whenever you are given some data, just simply pass it to a website and it will be able to extract everything. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to use this data. No need to use PDF Plumber now. Okay, because that's not the because when in ROE we don't have to. If it's easy to do, we can simply do it. Okay, so I'll just close this. Yeah, definitely save it. Okay, so it's asking for document recovery plan. Just a second, guys. Okay, so okay, so what is
And
this? No
PDF
loan.
plumber code also works, ra? Because we do not know if the
PDF plumber also works and it works pretty well. But the thing is that it removes those breakpoints. Okay.
Okay,
So if
okay.
this is my code, so if this is my file, then PDF plumber will just truncate these lines which are being split into different pages.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you have to do manually. And over here we have given you just 3 pages, and if we had given you, let's say, a PDF file of 100 pages, then it would have been a nightmare for you guys to do it manually, right?
Yes.
So instead of doing this, instead of using PDF plumber, you can always use these kind of tools, but always remember that you have to validate your data as well. Okay.
Hmm.
So I want to view these files later. Okay. Okay, where is it? Okay, I had closed it. Okay, 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 okay. I need to paste it in my VS Code. And where is it? Here is it. Okay. All right. So let's validate it once. Okay. So over here at 200 and 2256, we should have 2000. Okay, okay, okay. So here it is. All right. So the thing is, let me open it up in. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here is it. Okay. Open the file. Okay. So it should be somewhere right. Where is it? Here is it. So it should be 200, 2256. Okay. 2256. And here is the 2257th. Okay. But the thing is that it has split it into different rows. Okay. That's not what we are expecting. So the only thing that we have to rectify over here is that this district name, this district everything, so it's coming in the different line. Okay, it should be like this. Okay, and now we can delete this one. Okay, that's what I was wondering, because the actual data should have about 63 to 64 lines of data, but over here we have about 66. So that was quite alarming for me. But now when I'm looking at it, so that's quite evident why we were receiving that kind of figure. So here we have 1795. Check it. Should be 1795. Find all. So it's not able to find it. Okay. Okay, here is it. Here it is. Okay. And it faces the same problem. So this Bhola has been transferred to the next line. Simply truncate it. Okay. This is good. And now we are able to, nothing is present in this line except that. Simply delete this one. And now how many rows do we have? So we have about 63 rows. That's perfectly fine. Okay. That is the exact amount of rows we should have. So now this data is entirely uh, usable. So now what I will recommend you guys is simply just copy this entire thing and open a new sheet. Copy it, open a new sheet, paste as values. Okay, so now this is good.
Okay, which was the third one you deleted?
I deleted only 2 rows.
Okay, okay, two, only two.
Yeah, because we have 3 pages, so we are going to have 2 breakouts, right? So I will delete this one. And now, can anyone explain me why did I do that? Why did I
Because
deleted that sheet? Yeah, yeah, please.
no, the formatting was different. So here it was simplified, I think, into just
The
the
thing is that
values
I'm
left.
planning to convert it to a CSV file. And what happens is that if you have some kind of formatting, then CSV might pose some difficulties for you. And in ROE, we don't want that kind of difficulties to debug, right? So simply save, just paste it as values. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to say over here it should be a CSV UTF-8 format. Save, and it's done. All right. So now that's done. Where it is? Where it is? Here it is. Okay.
What is the difference between UTF and normal CSV?
UTF uses a different kind of encoding for ASCII values. So it uses an 8-bit, I guess it's 8 byte or bit, Jivraj? I guess it's bits, right? Okay, so it's 8 bits. So UTF-8 means that it's going to use 8 bits to convert the text that you have given it. So I won't be getting into much details for that, but when we are considering bits, so let's say these are 8 bits. Are these eight? Yeah, these are eight.
No,
So
no. I'm just asking, where is there any changes in the value itself? I'm asking while clicking just
no, no,
CSV.
not at all, not at all, not at all. So that's just just a encoding format you have to use. Okay, I don't quite remember the full form of UTF, but it actually encodes your each and every letter of ASCII in 8-bit format. Okay, there is also UTF-16, which is much more advanced, and it accounts for many more symbols, which can be adjusted in the range of 8-bit characters. Okay,
Okay.
So
just a second, Jivraj.
yeah, so if it requires to use some other encoding, then it will be mentioned in the question itself that you need to use this particular encoding. Because in GA1 we had question related to UTF-16. So if it requires some other encoding, it will be mentioned in that.
Okay.
So now we simply have to import PD pandas as PD. Okay. Now I'll be opening up CSV. Okay. So now what you have to keep in mind is that if you have been asked to open a particular file in a certain encoding, here we can pass a parameter to pandas read CSV, and it is as follows. I guess it was encoding. Yeah, it's encoding. So over here you can mention the encoding as well. Okay, so just like Jivraj just mentioned that you will be given the encoding in which you have to open the file. So in this case it is UTF-8. Okay, and in some case it might be some other kind of encoding. You just have to mention it over here. Okay, now let's just check the data. Absolutely, we have 24 columns and 63 rows. That's perfect. And let's go to our page. Okay. So what it's asking us to do is step for okay, so given the data set, okay, again, this is the formula for WQI. All right, we have to add all these, and this is P is a parameter. W, okay, okay, we have P is a parameter. Okay, this is parameter small p. Okay, and step for calculating parameters and weights for each parameter. Okay, so step one is compute parameters for each station code. Compute the following. So guys, I'll be honest that I'm solving this for the first time, and this these questions were also hidden from me. So yeah, I'll be solving with you guys. Okay. So for each station code, compute the following 7 parameters using the formula. Uh, 7 parameters. Okay, parameters to compute: temperature, pH, conductivity, BOD, nitrate plus fecal chloroform, total coliform. Sorry, the formulas to be used is that. Okay, okay. For each parameter, okay, okay. Let's just have a look at the data. So this is a min temperature, max temperature, mean temperature as well. Okay, min pH, max pH. All right. We have conductivity as well. We have BOD as well. Okay, so these four have been present over here. Okay, so we have nitrate plus nitrite content, max min, it's present over here. We have fecal coliform, min, max, mean, and min, max, total coliform. I'm not sure what's min total coliform and max total coliform. Okay, that's okay. So okay, so these are the parameters that we have been provided. So the formulas to use are for each parameter. Okay, to calculate its normalized value. Mm, and for the temperature, P should be okay. For all these, we have to calculate this. All right. So for that, it's pretty simple. let's just look at it. Okay, so it would be, we have to create a okay, so it's data. And also guys, if you think that I'm going wrong somewhere, just guide me. Okay, so this should be the name. And let's just see if, yeah, it's absolutely working fine. So this is the min, and then we have, so we have to calculate this uh for each and every parameter. Okay,
You can
then we
just
can
create the new one, right?
huh,
You just create a new column using those values, and then
absolutely, we have to do that. Okay, so Jivraj, we have to calculate the temperature and these parameters for each and every parameters given over here, right?
Yeah, for every parameter, you need to calculate p mean minus so whatever is formula. So we have also one example, and you have to create one new column.
Perfectly fine. Okay. So by the way,
create a function.
the wording used over here is bit confusing. So they are saying that for each parameter calculate the and then so they're using the word parameter a lot, and that's kind of creating the confusion. But that's what we have to deal with. Okay, we can't say anything about that. So let's look at this. Okay, so we have to apply this formula for each and every parameter, and we will be creating new. What I will do is I will create a new data frame instead. That would be much more better. And let's name it parameter. So it's going to be an entire range of parameters now. Okay, so this would be pd dot data frame. All right, and okay, so let's name it para because parameter is long to type and I'm lazy. Okay, so it's going to be for temperature first.
I
Okay,
think, Sharansh, you can first have a look at questions and then make a decision if you want to create columns in the same data frame or you want to create a new data frame. And if you want to create a new data frame, how exactly you will be creating it?
well, that's a pretty good point. And if you are going to create para, okay, so if you are going to create a new data frame, then it's not going to be, but it's going to be actually, we can use different data frames to filter out stuff as well. And let's just give it a try, why not? Okay, so, okay, so,
No, no,
okay, so
it is
firstly,
possible for you to directly do it because all the functioning you'll be doing for the first question will be based on the parameters you're going to calculate.
so you are suggesting me to put it in the same data frame or different data
No,
frame?
no, different data frame would be easier to the eye.
Yeah,
But yeah, just
yeah.
let me.
The thing is that you can, if it requires some kind of filtering as well. So let's say this is data, then we can simply use our para data frame as well over here for filtering out. So that's
Yeah, yeah.
possible.
Mm.
Yeah. By the way, if Jivraj is recommending us to look at these questions, then why not? Okay. Okay, so the combine the data from newly created parameters. Example, okay, okay, okay. For after applying normalization, so this is normalization. It's normalization value. Okay, this is normalization. Okay. After applying normalization, okay, okay. Follow these steps to determine the weights for, okay, combine the data from all newly created parameter columns. After normalization, assume the combined data to test. Okay, sort the combined data. Okay, select weights based on the first. That's a bit confusing. I will leave that to uh, my future self, my uh, future self on the next 5 minutes. First, I will be computing these columns. Okay. So the formula is going to be p mean minus p min, p max minus p min, okay, into 100. That's pretty simple. And it's going to be data and the name. Okay, so it's okay. So it should be min. Yeah, it's mean. We are subtracting everything from mean. All right. Data. By the way, these new line characters are a bit annoying, but you don't have the time to rectify them. Okay, it's done, and it should be like this. It should be good. It should be mean, and then max. Okay, it's max minus mean. All right, max mean. Okay, and then we have to multiply it by 100. All right, let's check our para and temp. Okay, it's giving us nan values as well. So, uh,
It's max minus minimum.
okay, it's max minus 5. All right, my bad. All right, so okay, so these are the values that we have to work with, but again, it's giving us nan values. Have we given some directions to solve nan values? I guess not. Okay, we can actually just fill these values with a zero. Never mind. Okay, so let's check. Okay, so all these values are nans. Okay, some values are nans. What we can do is we can replace these
Ah,
nans
good.
with zero first.
Yes.
Actually, in the original data set, if you look at few cells, there are some missing values. So those missing values fill it with 0.
Hmm.
Yeah, so in the base data set, this data set, we have to replace these values. So this is another thing that you have to keep in mind. Okay, it should be fill na. I'm not wrong. And it should be, I don't know what's that. And I will be filling it with a zero. All right, so it has
Fill
filled the
NA.
work. Yeah, it has filled everything.
Ah,
Okay,
yes.
so saving it. All right, that's
And
done.
also,
And yeah,
like we have a case like 0 by 0. So to calculate
uh,
like min max and mean values are same. So we are getting like 0 by 0 use also.
I'm not able to understand you.
Like like we are subtracting mean min and we are dividing by max minus min. No?
Yeah, that's the
In
formula, right?
yeah, in
Yeah, that's
few
the formula.
cells we have all values same actually. So we are getting 0 by 0.
Okay, so it's going to give us divide by zero. That's
Yeah,
what you are saying, right?
yeah.
That's a pretty good point. And if that
So
happens,
I
yeah,
did
I just
manually.
try to run it once. If it gives us some faults, then okay, it hasn't. Okay, uh, why isn't it giving us? Haven't I saved it? It's saved. Still okay. So it's trying to calculate that, and it's not able to. That's why it's giving us nan. So what we can do is rather than making these changes over here, we can do these changes in this para data frame. That's a pretty good point, Arjun. Thanks for helping. Okay, so this is good, and I will just duplicate this line multiple times because that's what we have to do, and it's ph next, so it should be ph and min ph. Okay, so I just have to change the wording, right? Yeah, yeah. I have to just change the wordings. So it should be mean ph, and yeah, mean ph, so it's ph, max ph. Okay, that's good. Next is going to be conductivity, and the name of these columns are conductivity. It's that. Okay, so this is the column, isn't it? Uh, okay, so these are not the entire names of all these columns. We have to use the column attribute. Now we'll get everything. Okay, so it's min conductivity. Replace it with this. Okay, and okay, it's going to be here. Replace. All right, and then max, it's going to be here. All right, and it's going to be mean. All right. Next, again the same thing. I will just copy this instead. It's going to be min. Change min multiple times. Then max. Okay, that's the entire same thing. No need to copy it again. Let's hope it works. And next is also I have to change these values. I will name it corn, then POD, then it's nitrate, right? Yeah, it's nitrate. I'll just name it nitrate, and it's going to be nitrate. Copy each and everything, then change it, change it. Okay, change it, change it. Okay, that's good. Fecal coliform. It's good. Okay. So it's okay. So it's just fecal coliform and total coliform. All right. So it's this. Yes. By the way, guys, if you spot some mistakes of mine, just point it out. Duplicate this line and okay, it's going to be total coliform. Let's hope it doesn't crash. Okay. Para. All right. Okay. That's pretty good. And now I'll be Filna and zero para. Okay, let's just check first. Okay, para Filna. It's giving us infinity as well. Let's just leave it for now because I guess we try to divide it by zero. Right, para, and it's done. Okay, so this is done, and next is temperature, and for that, okay, for formula for temperature is this. Okay, for each parameter.
Yeah, after this step,
Okay,
I'm
okay,
set.
okay. So this is an example. All right, all right, all right. Okay,
Same.
so that's an example. Okay. I didn't read that line. Okay, so I thought that we have to use two parameters somehow, two formulas. Okay, so next is weights calculation for each parameter, and this is going to be combine the data from all newly created parameter columns. Example, after normalization, assume okay, sort the combined data in descending order. Okay, we have to sort each and everything in descending order now, and all these columns should be sorted in descending order. Okay, let's just try that. Uh, okay, just a second.
Okay, Saransh.
Yeah,
So you would require to, yeah, you would require to get the top. I mean, you would need to sort the combined data. Combine by combining means is flatten this particular data frame. So it have 63 cross 7 elements. So you should put all of them in a list and then you sort it, and then after that you apply the later steps.
because we have to flatten it, all right. So I guess there is a flatten function. No, it's not. It's in NumPy. So we have to reshape it, and the reshape it's going to be the okay. How is it going to be? Let me just use GPT. Okay, so it's going to be uh, data frame, flattener of data frame, uh, do okay, it should be one D array. Yeah. Okay, it's values and Ravel. All right, let's try it. So reshape is also going to work. I'm not sure how. Okay, so this is our entire array. Okay, this is the entire array, and I'll be storing it in para array. Okay, so this is my para array. All right, so now let's see what we have to do. So now we have, okay, so it is sort. You have to sort the entire data. Okay, sort it. Okay, okay, we in descending order, is it? Yeah, it's in descending order. Reverse equals to true. Okay, now okay, it's giving us infinity at the top. That's something we have to truncate. Okay, so this is, it's giving us this. Select weights based on the first 7 multiples of 4 from.
The values thing is the column where you're saving the params, right?
Mhm.
What is the values column?
This is not a actually column. So
Okay.
if I just do this, it's going to give us all the values in the columns. Okay, just the
Okay.
values, not a data frame. So it's, as you can see, this is a 2 by, it's a 2D array at the moment. Okay, so if I just, when I just use this ravel function, it's going to unravel each and everything. Okay, so that's okay. And then 7, we have to, what we have to do, the 7 multiples of 4 positions. Okay, select the weights based on the first 7 multiples of 4 from the sorted data. Or 7 multiples of 4. Okay, the 7 multiples of 4 are positions. All right, extract weights. Okay, from these positions. All right, so why waste the time trying to find the multiples if it's given over here? Okay, this is done. I'll store it into sort air. This is good. And what I'm going to do is in this sorter, so this sorter, I will be removing this one. Okay, why not do it right away? This is good. Okay, now we have, what we have to do is the first 7 multiples of 4 are positions. This is and this. Okay, so these 4 positions, I guess I can find it like this. Let me check. I haven't checked it if this works or not. It's obviously not going to work. Okay. I will create a one liner array. It's going to be like this. If you guys don't know how to create a one liner for loop, then this is the moment you can learn it. Okay. It's I for I in sort and then
You can
it's
even
going
do the
to,
multiple logic here.
uh-huh,
You can even do the multiple logic here, no? For I
multiple logic.
at 7 multiples.
Yeah, I can do that, but why to waste my time? It's actually, it's not 7 multiples, it's actually 4 multiples, 4 7 multiples. Okay, we have to find the first 7 multiples of 4, and the entire, these positions have been given to us. So why do we start? Why do we find the, yeah?
Yes.
So sort uh it's going to work definitely. Yeah. So these are our weights. All right. So extract the weights from these positions. Done. Okay. Next, available values. If okay. So assign weights by applying lexicographical sorting on the parameters names. All right. So given parameters are this. So lexicographically sorted are these. Okay, got it. So these are Jivraj, what do you think? That we have to apply the weights on the normal data or the extracted that we have extracted that we have given.
Normalized data.
Okay, so it's going to be normalized, right? Okay, so we have the normalized data right over here. It's working, right? It's there. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Good. Now, what we're going to do is we have to calculate these, and the lexicographically sorted are like these. So the entire thing has been given to you in the question. So why do waste your time lexicographically sorting these values, right? So that's pretty good of the question makers to give us these values, right? I just use is multi-cursor work. Yeah, multi-cursor is working. Perfect.
So you named nitrate plus nitrate as only nitrate. So
Yeah. Thank you. I have to check my names as well. So it's BOD. Okay, BOD is right there, and then conduct. It was just conduct. No, it was just cond. Okay. Then next is fecal. Next is going to be pH, and then it's going to be temp. Is it temp, right? It's temp, not temperature. Okay. So apply this, and this is our array. Not an array actually. This is okay. So this is going to work, and now this is our what we have to do is para, and let's just check. Okay, so we have to apply this as well. It's not going to work. So total, okay, it was okay. It was what it was. Check it once. It was dot fecal. Okay. All right. So this is lexicograpically sorted. But the next thing is that we have to apply these weights to our lexicographically sorted values. Okay. So let's. I will just make the data like this. So it's lexicographically sorted. Para. All right. So I will be applying. So this is the. I'll store it as weights. Okay. So now I'll be running a for loop for I in para columns, and now para absolutely. Thank you, Cody. So okay, so is it right? We don't need this actually. What we can do is we can use enumerate. Enumerate,
Codium is actually this something which makes you want to use VS Code.
exactly. GitHub Copilot is also good, but I love Codium. Okay, it has saved my skin multiple times. All right, so this is yes, it's going to work. Let's hope so. Okay, it's not going to work. So list industries must be in the integers or slices, not str. Why is it here?
There
str.
must be a string values here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my bad. Now it's going to work. So guys, if you're not able to understand this enumerate, so what does enumerate do? I will just demonstrate it to you pretty quickly. So in enumerate para columns, and now print inj. Okay, so this para columns, it's going to give you a list of these columns. Okay, that's pretty easy. Okay, that's pretty understood. Now what does this enumerate does? It's I will just try to apply enumerate over here and just check if it's going to work or not. Yes, it's going, yeah, it has created an enumerate instance. So what it's going to do is when I run this, can you see this? This I is the index of the element, and this j is the value. Okay, instead of this you could have simply created a for loop like this for I in range length para columns, absolutely, and print para column size. So this is also one thing that you could have done, but enumerate actually allows you to get both the index and the value at once. Okay, so this is how you can just quickly do it instead of creating a separate for loop like this. Okay, so our data is pretty ready. Let's just check. Perfect. So our data is ready. And now the task is to calculate the WQI using the given formula and normalize WQI. Okay, okay, okay. First, let's check the W. What's the formula? It is okay. We have to multiply the parameters. That's done, and we have to add them as well. Okay, so we have to add the columns. Isn't it, Jivraj? What do you think? So we have to add the columns, right? Okay, okay, okay. We have to add the columns. So for adding the columns, I'm not quite sure. Let's just ask ChatGPT because why not? How to add the columns in my
Rather row.
Mhm. Okay, okay. So this is one thing that Jivraj has actually pointed out that we have to calculate the rows for that. Okay, I thought that we have to combine all the columns because then we will have 63 rows for 63 records which have the added values. But if we look at the formula, so uh, it's the parameter and then the weight, and then we have to add them. Okay, okay, okay. So we have to add the rows. All right, and let's ask ChatGPT how to do that. I just change the question to add the rows in my data frame. To add all rows and send. Add the rows in a data frame. You can use some. Okay, it's no. Actually, I have to. Okay, 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 okay. That's okay, so I just forgot about the sum, and you just have to use the axis. By the way, guys, if you hear Jivraj laughing, so yeah, that was pretty something that I it was my stupidity on that part. Okay, so okay, so it actually gave us the right answer. Yeah, here it is. So it's giving us infinity for nitrate. Okay, and what do you think, Jivraj? What should we do? Should we truncate this infinity and put a zero?
Basically, what you need to do, you need to calculate those uh, WQI for each station ID. So this is you're summing up all the columns. Instead, you sum it row wise.
Actually, I lost where the WQI calculation started.
Yes, sir. Same here.
Yeah, it seems so each and every row is belongs to a separate location, so you need to do it separately.
But how did we get the weights for the
Okay, okay.
three columns?
Guys, yeah. So what's your questions?
After we got the that sorting and then weights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like did that seven multiples of four thing, and
Yeah, yeah.
and then how did we get to the part where we calculated WQI from that?
So the thing is that you have got the weights. You have so the part where WQI comes to the places that is when we are actually multiplying the weights with the columns. Okay.
Huh.
So this P is our parameter, the columns, and W is our weight. Okay. And we
Hmm.
are multiplying them, and then we are going to sum them. So
Hmm.
uh, okay. So what Jivraj has suggested is that actually put we have to because if we read the question properly, that for each station code we have to compute something. Okay, so this is for each station code. So I guess we should do like this using access one. We have to get 63 values like this.
Hmm.
Hmm. So this is the thing that we have to do instead of summing up the columns, because that doesn't make any sense. Okay. So now the thing is that after calculating the WQI with the given formula, normalize WQI on a 0 to 100 scale. Okay, so for normalizing it to a 0 to 100 scale, what we can do is we can use a min-max scalar. Uh, what do you think, Shivraj? Is a min-max scalar a good option, or should we use a max absolute scalar? Because yeah, what's your thoughts about that?
Use max absolute.
Okay, so min-max scalar we have to use, right? Okay, so for I guess I have to check the formula for min-max scalar once. Normalization. All right. So it should be okay. So it's going to give you from 0 to 1. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Okay. How to uh, mm, normalize my data on a 0 to 100 scale. Let's check. Okay. Yeah, it's giving me some values. Okay, so this is the formula, and I'm going to copy it. It should be like this. Okay, so this is what we got, and I'll be saving it into a different value. So it should be WQI.
But these are our parameters, no? Didn't we already scale them?
These are our parameters, but these so actually our parameters are right over here in this para. Just print it once. So these are our parameters. These are our weights, and when we multiplied them, then we are getting the
Okay,
W.
and then we have to scale again. Okay.
Then we have to sum them once, and then that's a WQI. Okay, so when we look at the WQI, so these are the WQIs. Okay, now we have to normalize them into a 0 to 100 scale. Okay, so it should be WQI, and what I will do is just simply change all occurrences. WQI, right, and let's just print it. Okay, uh, all right. Uh, let's check it once. Okay,
Hey, WQI. Okay.
let's just save it over here, and let's just check it once. Got value counts. It's giving us zeros. Okay. Uh, have I missed? Normalized WQI on 0 to 100 scale. That's what we are trying to do. Let's just check it once.
So that is because the maximum one is infinite.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
infinite. So what do you think, Jivraj? Should we replace it with a 0? Okay, let's replace it with a 0. Let me just check all the. So it's WQI. Okay, and can I replace it? I guess it was a replace function. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's a replace function, I guess. Okay, so to replace, and right, it should be an infinity inf, and guess this is going to work. It's not going to work. Yes, GPT.
Maybe do that NP it or something. I hope.
Yeah, that's what I think. How to replace inf values. Mhm. Okay. It's giving us something. Okay, we have to use an NP in. Okay.
Hmm.
So import numpy as NP np.inf, and yeah, in place true. So what does this in place true do? It will replace those values in your data frame itself. So you need not, just if after replacing them, then you need not store it into the data frame again. Okay, so it's going to replace those values in the data frame, and that's irreversible now. Okay, so these values have been done, and now we have to normalize them. Let's again copy our formula. Yeah, it's present over here. I'll just put it right here now. Okay, now run it. Okay, let's check right. Yeah, we have the normalized data. All right. So now let's look at identify unsafe stations where WQI is greater than 5. Okay, it's less than 5. All right. So it should be something like this.
But we need those codes, station codes or something, no?
Yeah, we have to use the station codes as well. So it's less than 50, and it is like this. Okay, it's less than 50. Okay. So now we are going to use the part where we are actually going to use different. So this red is actually, I'm going to name it something else. So this is norm WQI. So actually red is a variable in which I use very often. It doesn't mean anything, but I just like it. Okay. So okay, it's giving me, okay, none. Okay. So this data, let me check if it is working. It's working perfectly. Now what we have to do is we have to get the indexes. Is it to get the indexes? Let's get the indexes. Okay, now data, and uh, I guess I have to use an iLock, and okay, and also I just have to get the station ID, right? So it's the station code, and I have to get this. Okay, so location-based indexing can only have integers. All right. This
No.
should have worked.
So you can use zero, na?
Huh?
So instead of station code, you can use zero.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My bad. Absolutely. Yeah. So now we are getting the data. So thank you, Ritik. So actually, ilog doesn't allow string values. Okay, so I actually just pasted the name of this the field, which is not allowed in ilog. That's allowed in lock, not in ilog. Okay, so remember that. So now we have got the station codes. Now what we'll do, so map station codes to pin codes using this TB file. Okay, so this is a TB file we have to download. Let's just check what we have in this TB file. Okay.
We extract it. Is it like an
Okay.
SQLite DB?
Mm-hmm.
You
What?
also don't know. No, nothing. I was just asking you something which you will also know when you open it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is our DB file. So if you guys are wondering that why am I able to see this like this, so this is because I have an extension for viewing DB files. Okay, so you can download that extension in VS Code, and you will also be able to see this. Okay, so we have what do we have? So we have station codes and pin codes. Okay, so firstly we have to import this in our data, and the way for that I don't know, so I will be going to my arsenal of codes. Okay, so okay, so this is actually the entire arsenal I created on in my own ROE, and it's helping me since. So uh, I guess this is going to work. Okay, so we have to use SQL alchemy as well. Okay,
Open source implementation of your Arsenal
what?
is some part of this Arsenal open source somewhere?
Open source means if it is available on if it's
What?
publicly available.
Your GitHub.
No, actually, it is not. Okay, so
Sir,
so
I'm getting an error when I'm trying to run the previous line of code. Like
you're
just
trying to
import
run
the,
which line?
yeah, this one. A
Which one?
data.ilog.
What's the error?
It says iLog requires numeric indexers, dot index equal write total frequency.
So that's the same error which I got. So the thing is that ilog won't allow you to pass string values. So you have to provide it numerical values. So these indexes are numerical values. Okay, if I just print it, so these are numerical values, right? And this
Okay, sir.
zero is the index of the column. Okay, so just check it once if you are following the this entire uh, syntax or not, and check it. Okay, that's all I can say.
Right.
Okay, so this is done, and it's engine. Okay, so I have to change it. Okay, it's not in ROE, it's present here, and the name of the DB is pin code station dot db. Let's check. All right, it's working. Good. Okay, so now we have to use this, and all right, is it going to work? Okay, it's going to work. Okay, okay, okay. It's searching for this FRPM value, and the name of this is. So, what's the name of its pin code station underscore code pin code underscore uh,
Station
station
code.
underscore code. All right. So let's just check our data. Ah, here we have it. So we have the station codes and the pin codes. All right. So, oh my bad. Actually, I saved it in as a data. That's not advisable. So what I will do is I will save it in a pin, and this is the pin. And now, okay, it's working. So now what I'm going to do is simply extract it. Okay. Moreover, I will be saving this in the what I have to do. So map the stations. Okay, so these are the defective stations. So I will be naming this as defect station. So this is going to be a series now, a panda series.
Okay,
Defect
there may
station.
be an issue here because we replaced data with pin code thing. So we may have to run that initial data thing again.
Yeah, we have to run that initial data once again, and that's my bad. And yeah, so you know, when you are doing your ROE, just remember this, that provide unique names. So what I did was I just simply copied it from here, and I just ran it. So that's not what you have to do. Just provide unique names to your whenever you are importing your data set. And because just like in my case, I had this data variable with the original data over here, right? So now I just replaced it with uh, this data, and then I have to actually rerun this with another variable name. So that's not advisable, and that's going to consume it. Okay, so this pin is done, and what we have to do is this is the defective stations, and okay, so what we have to do, we have the defective stations right over here. Is it defective station? Yeah, we have the defective stations. What we have to do is we'll run a pandas filter on station code. Okay, it's suggesting us, that's pretty good. Okay, so this is giving us some data, and we can see that all these station codes have been given a pin code. Okay, so it's working perfectly. What I'm going to do is simply get the pin code now. Pin codes. So this is the pin code. I'll delete this one. So these are the 6-digit pin codes. What to do next? So output the answer, a comma separated list of pin codes where the water is safe to drink. Uh, Again, I guess I have to convert it to a to list. Yeah, to list. Absolutely. So this is the list of our pin codes. Simply copy it and paste in the. So this is going to be the answer. Okay, where water is answer. So what part of this entire thing which I have done till now? What does what is your doubt in this entire thing?
Sir, I guess I missed the part where the norm WQI, the labels were converted to numerical values. Uh,
Labels were converted to numerical values, so I did nothing like that. So the thing is that let me just go once again. It was uh, where it was. Okay. The thing is, in this norm WQI, You're asking about this, right?
Yes, sir.
So I didn't convert any label to a numerical value. So this is a norm WQI. Uh, this is where we normalize the WQI, right? So this WQI, when we are going to perform, when we're going to apply filter on this of greater than 50, or sorry, of less than 50, norm WQI and this, right? So this is going to give us some data. Okay, this is going to return us some values, and these values will have some indexes as well. Okay, so what are these indexes? So these indexes are nothing but uh, the the locations, the row numbers where the uh, normalized WQI is less than 50. Okay, so we have got these. So how to extract these indexes? Simply use an index attribute. Okay, so we will get these indexes as a kind of list, and after that, simply pass it to an ilog function. So what is this ilog function? This is going to take two values in it, and these two values are going to be the number, the indexes of the rows. So these are the rows we require, and then the column. Okay, and the columns are nothing but the so if I just print this data, okay, it's not going to work again because I have replaced data. So I have to scroll up. Okay, so the 0th column is over here. Okay, this is the 0th column. That's why we have provided that 0 over there. Okay, so is this understood, or should I explain it one
Yes, sir. Sir, this IPYNB file, like, can you provide after the session is over?
uh, can you please repeat?
Yes, sir, can you provide this file after the session is over so that I can cross check?
Actually, I have to check. Yeah, I guess we are going to provide you this file. Yeah, we are going to provide you the entire file, and I'm not. We are not going to provide you this entire mess. We are going to give you a completely structured file, which have each and every solutions. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Moreover, we will be providing you that solutions for that first ROE mock ROE as well very soon. Okay.
Right, sir.
Okay. So this is our pin code. Simply copy this list and provide your answer. All right. So that was a bit exhausting. Okay. So now let's look at the second question. And I guess that we have completed all the heavy lifting part, and now we just have to, pluck the fruits of our efforts, which is get the station with the least WQI and figure out what would be change. Okay, so that's pretty bad English, I guess. So what would be change in WQI if BOD parameter is increased by 20%, keeping everything other parameter. Okay, so constant. Okay, so I guess we have to rerun the entire thing. Okay, guys, just give me a few seconds. I'll just have some water. Okay, so let's get started with the second question. Get the stations with the least WQI and figure out. Okay, so least WQI. Okay, so we have to find the station with the least WQI, and that's going to be the one. The thing is that we have multiple stations with zero WQI. Is it correct? Okay, so what we can do is just to get. I will just create a markdown over here. Q2. Okay. Now let's put a filter, which is norm WQI. I have to get the minimum one. To get the minimum, yeah, it was something like this. Norm WQI dot min. All right, so we have multiple options over here. So what we can do is we can let's check the station numbers as well. So again, okay, so the thing is that I have to rerun this data now. Okay, rerun the data, and what all I had to, yeah, data is has been okay. So I have to run this. Okay, and para difference. Okay, okay, that's pretty good. uh, we are lucky that we created separate parameter, separate variables for this para, because we created a separate data frame for this para, because if we had actually put these values and put these columns in this data itself, then it would have probably created much more work for us. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we have to use this. Thanks a lot. And okay, it's giving us the same error. Again, we have to use iLock and inside comma. Yeah, there we have it. Uh, what we can do over here is that we can get the station number with the least station ID. Okay, so for that, uh, let's do one thing. I will sort this. Okay, sort values. Okay, sorted, and 16 is the least value. Okay, so get the station with the and figure out what would be changed if the WQI of BOD parameter is increased by 20%, keeping each and everything not changed. Okay, so for the 16th station, we have to increase the BOD by 20%. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I guess we have to change it over here as well. Okay, we have to change it in this para. Yeah, I'll be changing it in the para data frame, and para in this para data frame, we have to get the station. So the station, okay, so this minimum station, the 16th station ID, have the index 58. Okay, so let's just check it. I lock, and it's going to be 58, and I will check it. Let's just check it. Okay, so the BOD, okay, we can't increase it this way. We can't increase it this way. Uh, I guess that these are the cases that we actually reduced it. Uh, what should we do, Jivraj? What do you suggest? Should we, you know, ignore these zero values and check the fort, because if we just head to that
If it- if
non
it's
WQI,
zero, if it's zero or if it's infinity,
Then there
any
is no change.
and there is no change. Now, whatever value is there, that will be the answer.
Yeah.
okay, so we have so what you are suggesting, so should we give the answer zero? Okay, so the answer is going to be zero. All right, so that saves us a lot of time calculating this. Okay, well, because that's going to be zero. Okay,
No
so
change in
let's,
WQI.
yeah, there is no change. So when it comes to percentage change, then it's going to be zero, right? Next is Q3. Continuing question number one, we have pin code coordinates packet file that maps pin codes to relative latitudes and longitudes for each station code. Okay, first just download this and let's have a look at its contents. Again, save a text up, drag it to our workplace. Where was it? Yes, yeah. Okay, so this is the Parquet file, and it's showing us as JSON. All right, let's try to import it, and I'll name it, create a markdown of Q3. All right, so this is going to be how we did it. So I have to check my code arsenal. And where is Parquet? Parquet, yeah, here is Parquet. So this is the Parquet one, and we have to use PyArrow as well. I hope I have downloaded PyArrow. So it's going to be pd underscore sorry, it's going to be pd dot read Parquet, and I will name it Park. Let's have a cube instead of game. Okay.
Won't work
And
without Pyro.
uh, Sorry, please repeat.
Would it not work without PyArrow engine?
Let's check it once, because why not? Yeah, let's check it and remove this. Okay, it's working without Pyro. Okay, all right, it's working without Pyro. I, perhaps I have made some changes in my libraries. Perhaps I have downloaded something which doesn't require me to use Pyro. Okay, so okay, so this is our Parquet file, and what we have to do, just we have a Parquet file that maps pin codes to respective latitudes and longitudes. Okay, and for each station code, find its corresponding pin code from, okay, then retrieve the latitude and longitudes for each pin code from, find its pin code. Okay, that's done. Then retrieve the latitudes and longitudes for each pin code from, okay, determine the closest pair of cities based on their coordinates. Okay, this is what we have to do. So we need not use any other data set in this, any other data frame in this. Just Park data frame is enough for us to do it. Okay. So for that, let me ask Chat GPT that given uh given multiple, let me ask it this way. Given two sets of lats and longs, how to compute the distance. I guess it's going to give us something related to the great circle formula. Okay, it's giving us Haversine formula, okay, whatever it is. Euclidean approximation, I guess it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it for specifically for great circle.
Just confirming one thing. There was no way to check the answers, huh, for mock 3.
Yeah, there is no way. Actually, these mocks are just for you to experience what's an ROE. Okay, it's not to validate your answers. So
This is the experience thing is actually something which is making us feel कि कुछ तो कर लेंगे, but otherwise it would have been a big shock.
exactly, I will tell you that this is the first time that we are having these mock ROEs. Before that, we never had these mock ROEs. In my term, we never had these mock ROEs. So when we sat in our first ROE, it was like getting hit by a bus. Okay, it was everything was new to us. We didn't know how to manage our time. We didn't know how to get everything right. We were just uh, were just directed or suggested to, or advised is the better word, to create an arsenal of these codes, and that's what I did. So if I'm not wrong, that then Carlton, who was a TA by then, he actually recommended every student to create an arsenal like that, and that's what I did, and that's how I was able to score well. Okay, so let's see what it has given us. Okay, it's going to use the Haver sign, whatever the name is, Haver sign. Okay, so let's just copy this. It has, thankfully, it has given us a function to use. All right, and what to do is just simply pass these values. So it's going to be, okay, it's going to be something like this. Okay, so this is going to be the distance, and looking at the file, we have to create. So if we look at it, we have to create a 63 by 63 matrix of these latitudes and longitudes, and then compute which one is the smallest. Isn't it, Jivraj? What do you suggest?
Actually, it is from the continuation of question 1. So just use the station code that you got in question 1. That will reduce some computations.
Let me have a look at it. The question once again. Continuing this. Okay, this is what we have done already. For each station code, find its corresponding. That's also done. Then retrieve the latitudes and longitudes for each pin code from. Okay. and determine the closest pair of cities. So that's pretty much done, Jivraj. So what we can simply do is we can calculate the latitudes and longitudes. We have to create this 63 by 63 matrix, and then we will be able to find the minimum distance.
That will be complex in terms of time. Maybe just take the upper first rows for time. I mean, it will take a lot of time for 63 rows. 63.
Okay, so Jivraj is suggesting that rather than actually computing the entire matrix, entire 63 by 63 matrix, it's just going to take uh, approx on complexity of time. So instead of doing that, we should just take the first 5 rows for demonstration purposes. So because I am demonstrating this to you guys, that's why we are going to take the first 5 rows. If when you are in the ROE, you have to do it with the entire data set. Okay, so remember that. So it's going to be like this. Head is going to give us the first 5 rows, and I'm going to save it in, let's say, Park. Okay, I'm going to save it in Park. Okay, because I can simply read this Parquet file once again. There is no harm in doing that. Okay, so we have the latitudes and longitudes. What we have to do is mm, 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 mm. Okay, so we have to just print it. Okay, so this is that one. We have to run a for loop for I in range len path. Thank you. And for j in, yeah. And now let one is this. Let, okay, it's helping us. Let two is this. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So Codium is helping us a lot. And then we have to, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a different list. It's going to be distance list, and I'm going to append, so I'm going to name it distances because this variable is already being used over here. So I will be distances dot append, and that's good. Okay, what's the issue? So it's actually okay. So that's the issue. Okay, that's the issue. So it's looking for that width, and just duplicate this. It's going to be lat 2. Okay, my bad. Again, it's going to be j and j. Okay, it's saying the distance is not known. All right, that's okay. What is it saying? 5 is not in range. I'm going to use iLock. Okay, and iLock, it's going to work pretty fine. Let me just print the data. So the values are like this. So it's going to be the first. Okay, so the index for the column is 1, for latitude is 1, and the index for longitude is 2. Okay, so I, and it's going to be 1, and that's longitude. So latitude, these are 4 values, and I will going to change like this. It's going to be long, and like this, and it's going to be j and j and 2, and also we have to change it over here. Okay, it's non actually. Okay, this should work. Okay, it's causing some problems. Hmm, let me put it in ChatGPT. Okay. So this is Codium's fault. Now it's going to work. Okay, so it's distances. All right, so this is the distances that we have got, and now what we have to do is, okay, so it's returning us like this. Let's check the length. Okay, so it's going to be a 63 by 63 matrix. Huh? Did I do something wrong? 25?
You take a head of
Okay. Yeah. We used head, right? So, uh, okay. So what we can do is
25 is
let's get the highest max value. So max, okay. What we can do is simply convert it to a series once, because once you have converted a list to a series, then it's going to give you multiple options. Okay. So this is our entire series. I'm going to get the IDX max. Kernel is dead. My God. Okay. Okay. I have to import pandas once again.
we could do max. What is the difference between max and IDX max?
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys what's the difference. It's asking for NP as well. All right. Uh, is this? Uh, okay, let me check what's the. It's okay. It's giving us something very different. Okay. So we haven't applied the head, or we have. Actually, we have applied the head. Let me check it once again. It's reading head. Let's check. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, these are 25 values, and now, so this is a series. Okay, and I'll change the name distance, distances, because that doesn't matter if it was just a list and I just converted to a series. Okay, so now the distance, okay, now the difference between a max and an IDX max. So the difference is that max is going to dot max method is going to return you the maximum value, and IDX max is going to return you the index of the maximum value. Okay. So the index of the maximum value is 90. Is that understood by everyone? What's the difference between IDX max and
Mm.
max?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So so the difference between, so the highest value, highest index is 19, and now we know that we have 19. So when we are considering the location when with a 19, then what you can someone tell me how can I extract out the cities with this particular value? Because it's pretty simple. Just tell me what is your uh, what what's your way of solving this. How are you going to approach this problem? We have 19 over here, and how can I get the two cities out of them? Because
We
the
got it
entire,
from
hmm?
that Parquet thing, no? That database.
Yeah, we got it from a parquet, but the thing is that this is just a 5-row matrix. Sorry, yeah,
Mm.
5-row data frame. How are you going to get the city with this?
The pin code.
Uh-huh.
We need the pin codes.
Can you please repeat?
We need to identify the pin code.
Yeah, we have to identify the pin codes. Uh, but which two pin codes actually have this value? Can you tell this? Because let me give you a hint. This is nothing related to pandas or something, something like a code. Okay, it's nothing that complex. It's simple mathematics. That's your hint. So how are you going to approach this? Anyone can answer.
Sir, here we take combinations of two. two pin codes, so we can find out the
Mhm.
19th combination.
Okay, but that's not going to solve the problem because how are you going to take those two, those combinations of two? You are pretty close, I would say. So one another hint can be, so I'm going to draw on this screen. So it's going to create a matrix, right? Isn't it? It's going to create a matrix for us when we are calculating the values, right? So this matrix has is there any other way to? Okay, I need a pen. Uh, is there any other way to? Okay, it's present over. Okay, so this is a matrix. Okay, and it's going to have five columns and five rows. Can someone tell me why it's going to have five rows?
Because it is from one pin code to every other pin code.
Exactly, it's from one pin code to every other pin code. Okay, so it's here. It's going to be pin one, pin two, and over here exactly the same thing. P1, P2, right? Yes, yes. Now, if I ask you that I want this one, I want the second value. Okay, so let's say instead of 19, the maximum value was this one. How would you approach it? How would you try to find the value, the two cities?
So we can go row wise, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the
Yeah.
row and the column are the values of pin codes, like the number of
Okay.
row and the number
Okay.
of
Now
column.
let's say if I'm going to tell you that the value is this. Okay, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's say the maximum value is 9. Now how are you going to tell me which two cities this particular value belongs to? You are able. So guys, you have been given this matrix. It's pretty simple. Just tell me which two cities does this 9 value belongs to?
P2 and then P4.
Exactly. It's P2 and P4. Okay. Now, in the same way, just imagine this entire matrix is filled. Okay, this should be 3 actually. 4, 5, and then there is 10. Then there will be 15 over here. Then it's going to be 20, and then it's going to be 90. Okay. Are you guys able to visualize what where I'm getting?
Yes, it's between third and fourth.
Yeah, that's pretty evident that it's between P4 and it's P4 or not? Okay, 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 okay. P5.
Uh,
Okay, actually, the thing is that these indexes start from 0. So this should be 0, and then this should be 1. This should be 3. This should be 2. Actually, this should be 3. Okay, so actually 19. Let me check if we have a
it
index.
will come on the left one. So P3,
Yeah,
P4.
it's going to come at the left one.
Mm.
Yes,
Exactly.
then will be P5, P3.
It's going to be P5 and P4.
No, 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 no. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Na? That is
No, sir,
Okay,
4.
it
yeah,
will
it's
come at
4.
8,
Here it's
12.
5,
No, fine.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, it's going to be between P4 and P5. Now, given this 19, so I just created this entire matrix for you. But on the screen over here, let me just erase it. So why am I spending so much time on this part? Because uh, when you are present in the ROA, you are going to now the approaches that you have given to me of solving this are, if you are going to apply those approaches, then I would say that you will be wasting a lot of time. Why? Because you will be, first of all, you will try to visualize the matrix, or you will create the entire matrix, uh, use reshape numpy and then whatnot, and then just print the entire matrix and see where the value lies. So the much more easier way to do that is this 19, it's going to be spread like this. Okay, I'm again going to draw something in greens. So 9, we know that it's going to be a 20, it's going to be a 5 by 5 matrix. Okay, and okay, it's 4, it's going to 5 by 5 matrix, and 4 will end over here. Okay, so we are going to have 5, we are going to have 5 lists of, we're going to have 5 rows. Yeah, we're going to have 5 rows of 5 cells each, right? So now if I try to divide it by 5, perfect divide by 5, are you guys able to see this? It's going to give me 3. Okay, and now I have this 3, and I guess I also have to find the mod. Let's check. Yeah, and add 2 values in there. Here we have it. Okay, here we have it. So it's going to be row 4, column 5th. Okay, and why did I add this +1? Can anyone tell me this? Can anyone tell me why I had to add this +1?
Because we have zero based indexing.
Exactly, because we have zero based indexing. That's why we had to add +1 for our personal understanding. Okay. Otherwise, if we just remove these +1s, then we have the exact uh, coordinates of that particular value on the in the data frame, in the matrix. Okay. So why did I do this? 19 perfect divide by 5, because if you try to divide 9 by 5, it's going to give you something like this. Okay, 3.8 something something. So that means that 3.8 something something means that the row, it's going to end over here. Okay, yes, I'm not able to something like yeah. So when we are perfectly dividing it by 5, so it's going to give us, so let's say this is first one. Okay, and then this is also done, and then this is going to come. Okay, I guess I'm not doing a very good job at explaining this, but I want you to feel what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so perfectly dividing this by 19 by 5, it's going to give us the exact value where our row is going to be. Okay, so if it would have been, let's say, 10 and perfect divide by 2, then 10, where would 10 have come? 10 would have come right over here. Okay, so this perfect divide is going to give us the row. Okay, 10 is going to be here. Fine. Let's check for let's say 24, because we have 20 actually are because of zero indexing. That's why we are going to have the last row. It's going to be 24. Okay, enter this. It's going to be 4. Okay, so 24 is right here, and it's giving us 4 because it's present in this. So it's present in this row according to zero indexing. And then mod by 5, because then actually then we are going to get, we are going to understand that in which column it's present. Okay, so if you try to apply this logic, okay, just try to apply this logic yourself, and then you will be able to understand, because it's getting pretty hard for me to explain you guys this concept of why am I using this perfect divide and percentage, because uh, the reasoning which I have in my mind, I'm not able to, perfectly fit in on my in words. Okay, so just try once and try to visualize an entire matrix, and try to look that if I'm trying to find this location, then perfectly dividing it by the number of rows, is it going to give you something or not? Okay. And then modding it by the number of columns, then it's going to give me the columns. Okay. This is one technique. Can I urge you all to just go ahead and uh, just try it. Okay. Then you will be able to understand. So this is going to give us the answer that it's going to be between these two cities. Now, any questions regarding this, or should we proceed with the next question? Any question, guys? Ritvik, are you trying to say something?
No, no.
Okay. Anyone with any questions, or should we move ahead?
I just one thing, not a question, it's a remark. Like how to do it within 40 minutes.
This entire question?
Huh.
Well, I guess you would be able to do it within 45 minutes, because uh, currently I'm explaining you guys stuff. That's why it's taking us about one and a
Mm-hmm.
half hour. That's why it's consuming so much time. But when you are doing this, I would recommend you guys to just read the entire question once and try to draw an entire flow chart in your mind. This question is required to do this. I need this, and quickly do it. Okay. So uh, just read the question once, try to get a feel of it. I would recommend you guys to keep a piece of paper around you, and if you are a fast writer, let's say, or in most cases, just keep an entire mind map of what you are going to apply, what's going to be your steps. Okay, so that is what you have to keep in mind. Okay, so that's it for question number three. Where is the question? Yeah, that's it for the question number three. And now it's question number four, and then this pattern question. And now Jivraj sir will be taking over. Jivraj, go ahead, please.
Great. So, does anyone know how would you solve this question? Okay. So it requires you to create a fast API get endpoint, and then which will take a station code as an URL encoded parameter, and then in the response it will get these things. Okay. So from where you can get state name for any station code. Oh, am I audible?
Mm-hmm. You're audible.
Yeah. So from where I can get state name if I am given a station code.
Station code, we can get that pin code.
So state we can get it directly from here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And then what about district or something? So what about district name? So it is in the location itself. For example, if I just open the data set, Okay, basically what we can do is we can send in a function calling. We can use function calling, which is from GA3. So something like this, and then we'll ask it to get the state name and then district name, and also what is the other thing? Pin code. So pin code we can get it by directly mapping a station code with that database .db file, and then district we would have to use function calling to extract district from location, and after fetching the district, in case if for some location if it cannot identify what is the possible district, then just return null in that particular field. For example, if for this location Guwahati Assam, if it cannot figure out the district name, then in district just put null in that location. So basically state name we can get directly from this uh, PDF itself. Then pin code we will get it from that database file, and then using this locations column we can send a request to OpenAI function calling. Some request like this, we'll have to create some functions, and then send a request to chat completions with these headers, and then this is how we can send the request, and in response we'll get the these that district parameter, district name, right? So actually I don't have access to the data, so that's why I will just create a template code, you can say. So this is what we already have. All right, first we need to create a fast API, so which is from GA2. We have. Anyway, this is not that much difficult. So in the URL encoded parameter, we'll receive a station code which we need to pass over here. So define root, and then within this we need to put a station underscore code, and then maybe integer or a string, whatever is the type of the parameter. All right. Since I don't have data for this, and the idea is clear, we can move to the next question. Does anyone manage to solve question 1 of patent dataset, which have some XML files?
No, but like I think Beautiful Soup we'll use, no, for this.
Yeah, so let me open one of the XML file. Okay, so how many of you are familiar with HTML files? I think everyone is familiar with the extraction of data from HTML files.
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay. So actually, what is use of this XML file? Let me first explain what is HTML file. In HTML file, we have something called DOM structure. So DOM structure is like we have some HTML, or maybe I can use just then backslash HTML. And basically, in between we have different things like div we can have, and then we can have some other div over here, and within this we can have. So let us say if I want to store, um, for example, this particular graded assignment, it have these classes, right? Card, my, and then 5, and then it have data question, which is an attribute. Okay, so this have q and then a markdown, so which is an attribute to identify this particular div element. So basically, in DOM, it is basically a structured way of representing any web page. Like first we have div or something with a particular parameter, and then within this div we can have multiple tags such as h1 for some other purpose, and then we can have some t tag, and all these tags are in a tree like structure. So each individual div elements, they can be uniquely identified by their position. Either it can be using their attributes or by using the location. Like if it doesn't have any attribute, if it is plain div tag, then it can be identified by zeroth, and then first, then second, by indexing, you can see. All right. So now from this document, if you want to identify the markdown question, can anyone tell me how would we create a query for selecting this div?
Document dot
Yeah, document.query selector, and then we would need to, I think, this is an attribute. We have something called ID, and then we have something called class. So IDs and classes, these are two attributes, and then apart from those two attributes, we can create some custom attributes as well. Um, so I will just go to the documentation. Attribute should be equal to this thing. So we needed with data hyphen question is equal to markdown, and this will select this question. So basically this HTML, it have this DOM structure which identifies each of these individual tags with the corresponding attributes. Okay, so similar to HTML pages, we have XML files which is used for storing data. So for example, over here we have this parent tag, and after that we have in which some data is there like file, and then these are different attributes which are present over here. So if you want to store items in a XML file, then this is how we can create a items array, and then for each individual item we would have something like this. and let's call it notebook, and then we have type is equal to stationery. So basically we are creating a one XML file which have items, which is an array of some objects, and then each individual item can be identified by this. If we want to just select all the stationery item, then how would you select that? All right, similar to HTMLs, we can actually, so in HTML we had tag, right? Div. Over here we have item, and then from item we need type to be stationery. And this would get us all those items which have type as stationery, and we can create some other item over here, for example grocery. Then it won't select this particular item. So this XML is much more flexible. It allows to create custom tags. This is just to store data. Okay, now for this question, what we have to do is we need to get the highest number of claims, and then for any particular patent ID. So we can get patent ID from here, file name. So here is a mistake. Like for the given below data, patent ID is this one. Actually, we should have kept this line over there. Okay. So this file name is for identifying the patent, and after that we have an claims array. Which have an individual claim. So basically we need to compute the claim for each one of these. So now I will go here. Let us say file name is equal to test.xml, and then we need beautiful soup documentation. So we'll need to install it first. And after installing, we'll also need to install XML parser. I think we can use this one. And then we can use one of these, either this one or this other one. But before that, we need to import it. Now from here, we need to get the tag with claims. So we can create a query selector. Let's call this as soup. And this is the file name. Let me move it a bit up. All right. And then we need to get the file name. So we can use this particular tag. Select one is the function that will get that is similar to query selector, and then select is the function that is similar to query selector, all in JavaScript. All right, and but this won't get us the file name. Actually, we'll need to get all the attributes from it. So this is the way we can get all the attributes, tag.attributes. So once we get the attribute, we want, I think, file name or some attribute is there. And this will be file name. And then number of claims will be just length of the, yeah, this should be correct. And we need to basically loop over all the files for I in range, or for, let us say in this particular folder. So if you look at these files, it have a similar structure, p1 file and then -1 and then -2 -3 till 20. So for I in range 1 to 21, and we'll have to open all of these again. Sure. So we also need to store file name and then the number of claims. So we can do l.append, and then after that we can put it inside the data frame, and then we can actually get the maximum one. Oh yeah. Does anyone have any doubt on that? Like, I didn't run it, but this is the basic structure. So it is just similar to XML. It also have so XML is similar to HTML. It have these tags and then these attributes, whereas HTML have div, h tag, and then it have attributes like ID, then class, and then there can be some other custom attributes as well.
So do you save the zip in the collab itself, or how do you open the file? The zip?
Actually, your voice is very low.
Sir, am I audible now?
Oh yeah, you're audible.
Sir, I'm asking how do you then open the file, the zip file, for it to go through the loop?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I will show you that. So, so all these multiple files, we can select it like this, and then we can actually put them over here by just copy pasting. This is one way. It will copy paste all of these one by one. And then another way is we can use wget to fetch the zip, or else we can just upload the zip here instead of uploading all these files. Actually, I haven't extracted. If I extract them, then I can just copy paste all of them over here. This is one way, and then if you have unzip command, and then you can run unzip and then name of that zip file, patents dot zip. I think this will work. Oh, cannot open package. We don't have such file. Where is this patent.zip file present? I think I need to extract it. Yeah, this have got all these files extracted. So you can upload this zip to the collab and then you can extract it using unzip. So in tomorrow's session, we'll be having one more ROE and then there we'll be showing these different notebooks. So you can keep a few notebooks like these one. Let me just share a screen. So where is the fourth question? Yeah. For the fourth question, you need to create a fast API get endpoint, right? So just keep a few notebooks which have fast API thing, and then it have different function methods like get and then post, and then these are the two popular functions which you can keep. So these two methods just keep handy so that you can use them. So URL encoded parameter, keep one snippet of that, and then keep one snippet of body parameters. So from all these sections, different sections, like uh, yeah, you can keep something from image library. I think it is from week 5, where we have resize operation and then blur operation, and then there are multiple operations. And then you might not need Vercel for hosting, actually, but just uh, keep some code ready for local hosting, something like that. Vercel, like, actually, it might not be that useful, but yeah. And
Yeah, you should definitely keep some code for, let's say, local hosting, or there is one more option for locally hosting like ngrok and something like that. So you should always keep code snippets ready to go for that purposes. So whenever you are facing that kind of problem, simply use that snippet and you'll be done with that. Okay.
yeah, and maybe you might need to run some Docker, then just keep some run and these things handy with you. Running something inside a container and then exposing ports, these kind of things.
Will we be required? Could we be required to actually submit a Docker container or something? Not in 40 minutes, right?
No, it might require you to run something inside Docker container, but not submitting.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah, whatever application you create, you must add these form middleware settings so that it allows request from uh, multiple domains. So cores, you need to keep some code for cores. Otherwise, it won't work. So like that. Yeah, this is the one middleware which these are the origins which are allowed. Then these are the methods which are allowed. So just keep these things handy. And from GA3, so in GA3 there is mostly three things. One is basic LLM calling, and then the other one is getting some structured data from LLM, which is function calling, right? And then this is the other bit, embedding vectors, and then finding the cosine similarity and these things. This is all that is there. And then the other other stuff is this image one. So just keep code for this as well in your notebooks, which is already here. Just convert it into some Python code or something. So a lot of snippets you can uh, get from GA pages.
So I would recommend you guys to just go through all these GAs, just go through the questions once, and just try to create code snippets for each and every tool in arts in these questions. Okay, so let's say we have a convert to PDF to Markdown, just create a code snippet for that. Extract tables from PDF, create a code snippet for that. So go through all these GAs, and then you will get to know for what all things you have to create uh, your code snippets for. Okay. So, Jivraj, do we have something else to express, or should we end the session?
Yeah, that is it. Like some
Saransh, can you show one of your code files just
You
to
want to
see
see?
how to prepare it? Yeah.
Okay, sure, sure, sure. By the way, it's nothing. It's nothing of that level of complexity. It's simply code snippets. Okay, so it's, it's simply just code snippets of my which I've created. So this is an all files code snippet where I have the code for extracting. For let's say, if I have been given a set of, if I have been given a folder and they are asking to extract the names of all the files present in the folder and do something, some weird stuff with that. So if I've been given that, then uh, I will simply apply this function, or you need not create a function. Just have to create this uh, for loop, which will just iterate over your uh, OS list directory, and then it will just list all the files, and you can so that. Okay, then there is something for BBC weather. I have the API request ready over here. Simply put in the name of the place you want, and then it's ready to go. Okay, so these are the functions that I've created, and I would so it's your personal preference to either create a function or just have these code snippets. Okay, so I have everything ready with me, and in this beautiful soup, this is going to be the most important code snippet of your entire preparation. Just because over here I have paid little attention to beautiful soap, as you can see, but I will recommend you guys to create an entire multiple functions for beautiful soup. Uh, I have multiple snippets for each and every conditions which we may provide to you. Okay, and so beautiful soup is really important for you. Okay, and then I guess this is for HTML extractor. So here I'm extracting HTML content. I guess yeah, this okay. So I'm just listing HTML files, I guess. Then this is JSON loader, nothing that sort of difficulty over here. Okay, so all these files, then HTML LLM helper. So these are the functions which I've created for LLM. So this one is for embeddings. Then there are multiple other functions to get the models and all that. Then there is location, other stuff as well. Then there is one file for nominating, Parquet files, PDF extractions. Okay, then in back in our time we had Pokemon API. We had to do some stuff with Pokemon API, which whenever if you pass the name of the Pokemon, it will return each and every statistics about that entire Pokemon, where it fire fought, where it evolved, each and everything. Okay, so we had something to do with this Pokemon, and uh, apparently they have removed this Pokemon thing from your term, so you need not prepare this. Okay, then there is Selenium. You haven't been taught Selenium; it won't come in ROA as well, I guess. Uh, and the sentence transformers, SQL, data loading, Wikipedia, LLM extraction. So you have to create. Okay, you have to create these code snippets on yourself by yourself.
So whatever topics are used in the GS, I should prepare one
Exactly,
notebook
exactly,
for each.
exactly. Just head to your GAs and look at the topics which you have been taught. Okay,
Okay.
in the first GA itself, you were taught about 18 tools, right? Just prepare code snippets for each and every one of them. And mind my words, I'm not asking you to prepare solutions for these. I'm just asking you to prepare code snippets for what's going to be used over here. Okay, so yeah, so GitHub, you should have some code ready for GitHub as well. Okay, then SQL queries one. So you should have something like that. Yeah, reusable code snippet exactly. I'm not asking you to create solutions for that. That should be pretty understood on this matter. Okay, so that's what we are asking you, and that's how. Or moreover, even after creating these code snippets, you should be able to, you know, access. You should be able to make good use of them as well. So I would recommend you guys to create all your code snippets today and come be done with it by tomorrow evening and attempt the ROE which we are going to release the mock ROE which we are going to release tomorrow with those code snippets. Okay, then you would have a kind of kind of understanding of where my code is and how I have to quickly use it. Okay, then because the thing is that even if you create all these code snippets, you might not be able to use them efficiently. Okay, and that mock which we are going to conduct tomorrow, that will, if you have all your code snippets ready by then and if you use those code snippets for tomorrow's mock, then you will get the understanding that where you have to, how you have to coordinate with all these uh, uh, code snippets and use them efficiently. Okay, so that was it. Any other questions?
How did you attempt at your ROE? Like, was this all enough, or you also had to collaborate with someone
No,
during
I
that
didn't
process?
collaborate with anyone. I did it all by myself.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
this was.
all these code snippets were pretty sufficient. And always, I would recommend you always have ChatGPT open in other windows. And moreover, because the thing is that ChatGPT on a free trial gives you only few. It's allows you only about 10 messages to be sent. Okay, so on its on it on the model which is the best one. Okay, so on the premium model it allows only 10 messages. So I would recommend you guys to create multiple IDs on ChatGPT, and whenever one is exhausted, simply switch to another one and then use it. Okay, because you would genuinely you would uh, want to get the best response of the ChatGPT rather than getting a response from a lower version model. Okay, that's one thing you should also explore DeepSeek. That's a really good AI, and I will recommend you guys to just explore DeepSeek if you haven't yet, and have DeepSeek ready as well. Have Gemini ready as well. Have all your API keys ready. Okay, create a virtual environment. So over here in this ROE, I have my virtual environment over here, and each and every library I'm using. So there are dozens of libraries I have installed. So you can see that I am just scrolling and scrolling, and it's not ending, right? So I've installed multiple libraries in this entire uh, ENV, because at that point of time you won't be, it would be a very bad idea to getting to install all these libraries. Okay, you should have all your libraries installed in a virtual environment, and always create a virtual environment. Okay, so create a virtual environment, install everything which you have come across yet. Okay, and then prepare your code snippets. All right, and also name your code snippets efficiently. Okay, so as you can see that the naming which I have used, it's Pokemon API, PDF extraction, sentence transformer, this. So it's, once I read the name I will be able to get, okay, so this is for this is for this. Okay, so yeah, so always have, you know have your code ready and name your files pretty well. And I will seriously recommend you guys to get all your code snippets ready by tomorrow evening and use your code snippets in tomorrow's mock ROE. Okay, so this is a privilege that you guys are getting these mock ROEs, because never have we ever done this. Never have we ever had mock ROEs in TDS, and this is the first time we are doing it. And you guys are pretty privileged for that. And yeah, so that's all I have to say. Any other questions?
At what time will be having our role tomorrow? Just wanted to know the
At
time.
what time? I guess it would be 8:15. Isn't it, Jivraj?
7:50 15 will release.
Okay. So it's 7:15 actually. My bad. So 8 we are going to start the session. So it's 7:15 we are going to release the ROE tomorrow, and then you have to get started. Okay. Use this opportunity wisely. Okay. That's all I have to say. Any other questions? Or should we end the session?
Okay, so for the file, for the snippet file, it's better to actually do it in VS Code, na? Instead of doing it in Google Colab or maybe a Drive folder.
Absolutely, I would. I always, I always recommend VS Code because, Google Colab is also good. But what happens is that sometimes the limitation over there is that it doesn't save your files. Okay, let's say you have created a session, you have imported all your files over there, and let's say it's a really huge file. Okay, it's about there are multiple files, and then it's taking time to upload them. Okay, and suddenly something happens and you close that window, all that is gone. Okay, you have to re-upload your files, you have to rerun your
Mhm.
functions. So always in these kinds of scenarios when you are time bound, always use VS Code. Okay, and moreover have these LLM helpers with you, these Codium, GitHub Copilot. So these LLMs really help you guys. Okay, so
Mm.
have these ready. This exam is entirely open book. You are allowed to use any kind of GPT or AI help. So use it to your full extent. Okay. So install this Codium extension and or GitHub Copilot. That's up to you. I prefer Codium. So yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions, guys? Well, I guess we have run out of questions, and we have run out of time as well. Okay, so it was a pretty good session, guys. I
Wait,
hope you learned.
just wanted to
Yeah,
ask one other thing. This
yeah,
Codium is an extension.
yeah. It's an extension. You need not download it from anywhere. Just simply go over to this extensions tab and go type just Podium. This is the one. Okay, so there are actually two. Okay, you can see that there are actually two, but this is the real one. Podium AI coding. This green one is the real one. This purple one I'm not sure about. Okay,
Paid
so
version.
okay, it's something else actually. It's another tool. It's kind of updater or something. You need not install that. Install this green one. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so let's end the session, guys. It was a pretty good session. I hope you learned a lot from it, and yeah, we had a pretty good time as well. All right, guys, we'll meet tomorrow. Get ready with your code snippets and attempt tomorrow's mock, and then we'll discuss it. Okay, so bye, guys. Yuvraj, please stop the recording and